Joining a new brokerage can be exciting, but it can also be scary and uncomfortable. In this video, I want to walk you through the joining process and talk about what your first 30 days at Real will look like. By the end of this video, you should know exactly what to expect, from the onboarding process to connecting with other agents and getting your business running smoothly. Hi, I'm Mark Pearson. I'm a real estate broker in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. I joined Real in 2022, and it's been a great decision for me, my family, and for my business. I make these videos to answer questions people have about joining Real. If you find this helpful, make sure you're subscribed. I put out new videos answering questions like this every week. Before we talk about paperwork and onboarding, let's talk about your expectations, especially if you're coming from a traditional brick and mortar brokerage. Real is a cloud-based company that probably operates differently than other brokerages that you've experienced. For some agents, this can be very freeing, but for others, it can be scary and a little bit intimidating. The key thing to understand is that you're joining a company that will offer as much, if not more, support than the brokerage you're coming from. And once you understand that, the transition becomes much smoother. So let's talk about the actual sign-up process once you've made the decision to move forward. You go ahead and fill out an application and complete your ICA, your independent contractor agreement. When you're filling out your ICA, you will name your sponsor. If you would like me to sponsor you and you want to talk about what it will look like for us to partner at Real, feel free to reach out or use the link in the description to schedule a Zoom. At Real, you can name up to 2 sponsors, so if there's someone that you would like to co-sponsor with, let me know and we can all jump on a call together. After you've signed your ICA and paid your joining fee, Real will send you the next steps, which will be to either transfer your license to Real if you're moving from another brokerage, or to activate your license if you're newly licensed. And once that step is completed, you're officially with Real. The license transfer is typically pretty straightforward, but depending on your state, the time involved can vary. Once that step's complete, you gain access to Real's internal systems and you can start the onboarding process. Let's call this day 1, and on your first day, you're gonna wanna get familiar with reZen. So inside of reZen, you'll find things like transaction management, your revenue share dashboard, access to Real Wallet. It'll be your access to portals like Real Academy and the Marketing Center. There, you'll also see things like company announcements. Through reZen, you can contact your brokers directly. You can access reZen from a desktop or through a proprietary app. It's very user-friendly and it's not complicated, but I know it can be a lot on day 1. So don't feel like you have to get everything all at once. But click around on reZen, get familiar with where different things are, and don't hesitate to reach out to support if you need help. One other thing that lives in reZen is Leo, which is your digital assistant. Any questions you have can start with and oftentimes end with asking Leo. So on day 1, one of your first priorities should be, if you have transactions, if you have clients that are following you from your former brokerage, we need to make sure to get them in the system and get them relisted in MLS. And if that's something you need help with, make sure you reach out to your sponsor or your state broker for help. Real has a structured onboarding sequence, and it starts with an onboarding orientation. And you can do a live onboarding orientation. I think the US version is every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. There are additional live and recorded sessions about how to get started with Real technology, how to use the Marketing Center, how to input and manage your transactions. You don't have to attend everything immediately. It's not just about consuming information. Make sure you move through it intentionally. Make sure that you gain confidence in the different areas, the different systems and processes. And one other thing I'll add, your first couple of days with the company, and actually all of your time with the company, if you have any questions, never hesitate to reach out to your sponsor. If you've chosen for me to sponsor you at Real, part of the reason you've done so is that I can point you in the right direction when you need help. So if you have questions during the onboarding process, if you come to me, I can either help you or I can put you in touch with someone who can. So in your first 7 to 14 days, I would say you want to get comfortable with Real's technology. You want to get the basics of your business set up, and you want to get engaged with the community. So let's cover those 3 topics separately. The first one is pretty easy. Get a comfort level with the technology. I would say you want to click through reZen on your desktop and on your phone and make sure you're comfortable navigating around and finding the information that you need to find. Make sure you understand how to input information about transactions, upload documents, watch a few training sessions, and just understand where things live within the ecosystem. Next up is setting up your business. So step 1 and 2 are important, and a lot of people let these slip through the cracks. 1, change your voicemail message. And number 2 is your email signature. And make sure that you check all of your email signatures. Sometimes your outgoing email signature can be different than your response email signature. Or responding from your phone or sending an email from your phone may have a different signature saved than what you have saved on your desktop. So be thorough, make sure all of those are changed. If you use something like Blink or any other kind of digital business card, make sure that those are accurate and they reflect your new company. Order business cards, order a new letterhead, whatever you need for the day-to-day operation of your business. And make sure to remove your old brokerage branding. This is a compliance issue as much as it's just a carelessness issue. Make sure that you're accurately portraying who you are and who you're doing business as. This next one can change your experience at Real. There are plenty of people out of our 30,000 plus agents that don't participate within the community that still thrive with the company. I would recommend that you spend a little bit of time attending different live masterminds, meeting some people. Your sponsor introduce you to people that they think that you might click with or that have a similar market niche that you do. I think a lot of value within the company lives with the people, and I think that you should get out there and engage with those people. So again, it's not mandatory, but in my experience, a lot of the agents that I've seen struggle were not engaged with the community. And most of the agents that I do see engaged in the community tend to thrive. Jump on a Zoom, attend a mastermind, introduce yourself, and you will find your people within the company. So let's talk about some common questions that I get. The first question is, will I feel alone? And I can honestly say that the only way you'll feel alone at Real is if you isolate yourself. The second question, is it really different from a traditional brokerage? And the answer is yes. And in a lot of ways that I think are great, and in a couple that maybe you don't think are so great. It's a cloud-based company. There's no physical office. I find that to be more collaborative. I find more collaboration between agents in other markets than I ever did with agents within my own market in a physical office. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. When you're talking about the difference between a cloud-based brokerage or a brick and mortar, we both have the same mission. They're production companies, and we're here to help our clients buy and sell homes. That's what we do. So let's set some benchmarks and talk about what success looks like within your first 30 days at Real. You've completed all of the onboarding trainings and modules. All of your transactions and clients have been transitioned to Real. You're comfortable navigating reZen on your phone and on your desktop. You've attended and participated in a few trainings and masterminds. You've started to build relationships with other Real agents, and you're really starting to feel like you belong here. If you still have questions and you want to talk it through, I'd be happy to help. Feel free to reach out. Call me, text me, email me. This is my contact information. There's also a link in the description to schedule a Zoom. If this was helpful, please make sure you're subscribed. I put out new videos every week. And if you feel like I missed something, please let me know down below in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.